My dearest, darling Equifax, I know it's been a while since I last wrote. You and I, we always had kind of a love-hate relationship. Word on the street is, though, you've been spreading some nasty lies about me. At first I thought it was just you singing this sad, sour tune, but no. Turns out your sisters, Experian and TransUnion, are all in cahoots. This whole situation is like a Chevrolet heading full speed towards a fat drunk passed out in the middle of the road. It's gotta stop. You can ignore this, erase me from your life, that's fine. But we'll always have the memories, kid. We'll always have the memories. Getting in touch with the credit bureaus doesn't have to be full of drama. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 tips for how to write a dispute letter the right way. This is just apple juice. What is up, my fellow money minions? My name is Troy, also known as the Dollar Dude. Guess who's back? Welcome to another video, and as all the money minions out there know, we talk personal finance and building a life full of financial freedom here, and we keep it as simple and as real world as possible. So if you're down with that and you're not yet a minion, hit that subscribe button and the little bell notification icon next to it so you don't miss a single update. So most people know they can dispute inaccuracies on their credit report, but a lot of people don't bother because they think it's hard or a long, tedious process. Nope. Making sure your credit report is accurate is an essential part of your financial freedom, even if you've been debt-free for years and there's nothing on it. It's something that you should be looking at least a yearly basis if you're not already. Let me know down in the comments if your credit report has ever had an inaccuracy on it and how you got that straightened out, or if you're still working through it. You don't need one of those credit repair services. There's almost nothing that they can do for you legally that you can't do yourself, as long as you've got a printer and a nearby post office. Disputing inaccurate information on your credit report doesn't have to be intimidating, but there are plenty of ways to do it wrong. So here's my 4 tips for how to write a dispute letter and clean up your credit report the right way. Number 1, get your credit report, not your credit score. This is one of the hardest things for people to get over. We as a society are so trained to value our credit score, our FICO score, that we don't actually care what's in our credit report. Your score is based off of the information in your credit report anyway, so what your credit report says is the important part. But I want to buy a house, and I want to buy a car, and I want to get a business loan, but they say I need at least a 720 and... Whoa. Take a couple breaths. Relax, it's gonna be okay. You can still spend some money to get your FICO score after this if you really want to. There are even a lot of free services out there that are willing to run your information and spit back out a number of some kind, if that makes you feel better. But right now, we're concerned with the credit report. Got it? First thing you're going to want to do is head over to annualcreditreport.com. It's a site put together by the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, but it's authorized by federal law. And it is awesome. I'm going to leave a link down in the description so you can check it out. You can pull your credit report once a year from all 3 bureaus for free. Truly free, no strings attached. I highly recommend everybody do this. Even I do this once a year. Now that I'm debt free, and since I'm going to be for the rest of my life, I shouldn't be seeing anything new popping up on there. And if I do, it's cause for concern. Who dat? You can either pull from all 3 bureaus once yearly, or you can space it out, like pull from one of the bureaus every 4 months if you really want to stay on top of it. Either way is fine as long as you do it. Anyway, now that you've got your credit report in hand, it's time to take a magnifying glass to that sucker. Check for inaccuracies, accounts that aren't yours, accounts that are still reporting open that you closed, accounts that belong to a family member and not you. That one's really common with people with name suffixes like junior or the third, basically anything that's wrong. If your report is accurate, then sweet, you're part of the 20% of consumers whose reports don't contain any errors at all. Thanks for stopping by, always great to see you. But if you're in the 80% of consumers who have at least one inaccuracy on their credit report, this video is for you. So you've got your list of inaccuracies, right? Well, then it's time to write your dispute letter. But, number 2, don't just copy a template you found somewhere. The credit bureaus get thousands upon thousands of letters daily. And I know as much as we like to think there's an actual human out there reading each and every letter they receive and giving each case the time and attention it needs, unfortunately, you and I live on the planet Earth, and that type of stuff just doesn't happen on a large scale. In order to cut down on the letters they receive that action has to be taken on, the bureaus and creditors will run your letter through an electronic process. They're looking for similarities in structure to other letters. Now, if you're using a template that the electronic processor has seen a billion times before, chances are it's just going to reject your letter and mark your dispute as frivolous. So don't do that. Put down your name, your address, the zip, and the date. Explain that the letter is a dispute letter and list line by line each inaccuracy you're disputing. State that according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they have 30 days to either verify the information is accurate, correct the inaccuracy, or remove the item from the report. And then in the letter, provide copies of documents supporting why that information isn't accurate. Now don't get me wrong, it's fine to look up a template online to see how others form their dispute and get an idea of what should be included in yours. But don't just copy paste word for word and insert your information in. Doing that will likely get your dispute rejected and waste your time and money. Number 3. Never, ever, ever, ever dispute online. We live in the age of the internet, and it's never been faster or easier to give or request information. And that includes disputing items in your credit report. So convenient! But the price you pay for that convenience is the possible lack of an accurately handled dispute request, or even worse, possibly the forfeiture of your rights under the law. Some creditors and bureaus these days are even saying that they're no longer accepting disputes by mail and that you can only dispute online. This is not true. They certainly would like you to dispute online, much easier for them, but they are required to process your dispute whether you do it via snail mail or online form, as long as you do it formally and through official channels. They say this because they want to cut down on the amount of snail mail that they have to sift through, which is understandable. But don't feel discouraged like you have to play by whatever arbitrary rules they come up with. The law is on your side here. When you make a dispute online, they'll typically give you a bunch of options to state what your dispute is about. But what if your dispute doesn't fit neatly and nicely into one of those predetermined categories? Then it's entirely possible that they could judge your dispute as being inaccurate and dismiss it just like that. Even worse, you have no paper trail or evidence that you even disputed anything at all. They could just not respond back to you, ever, and there would be nothing that you could do about it legally. Is it possible to dispute online successfully? Sure it is. But snail mail is the way to go here to protect yourself. Believe me, I'm a tech head, so this is probably the only time that you will hear me advocate for using snail mail for anything, but it's true. As much as it pains me to admit, the best way to dispute an inaccuracy is through a typed letter and an envelope. I think I just threw up in my mouth a little. Speaking of snail mail, number 4, send your letter certified mail with a return receipt. Yep, it's gotta be in writing with a paper trail, or it didn't happen. Same thing with disputing an inaccuracy. Always send your dispute certified mail with a return receipt, so you have written proof they got your letter. Otherwise, you're just asking for this to happen. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says you have 30 days from the time you receive my letter to correct the inaccuracy or remove the item. It's day 31, no response. You're required by law to remove the item now. So what do you say to that? Didn't get it, bro. What do you mean you didn't get it? Didn't get it. So send it certified mail and have a return receipt. That way, if they don't respond, things might go a little different. Didn't get it, bro. Oh, okay, right. You didn't get it. You didn't get it, right. Okay. Objection! What about this? Okay, so it's not quite that dramatic, but you get the idea. Also, if you get that reference, you're one of my favorite people ever, just so you know. And this one is done, guys. Hit the like button if you liked it, or if you're not yet a minion, subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. We'd love to have you. Also, if you've got a question, finance or otherwise, leave a comment down below. Let's talk about it. So until next time, my fellow money minions, my name is Troy, and I will see you guys next time.